The lawyer began to read the will, and the tension in the air was palpable. Alessandro and Francesca were not ready for what was about to happen. Before we get into this story, I invite you to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss our future content. But now let's take a step back. In the quiet neighborhood of San Lazzaro, there was a large house with a lovingly tended garden. This was the home of Clara, a 75-year-old woman known in the community for her kindness and her garden full of colorful flowers. However, behind that shining garden was hidden a deep solitude. Her children, Alessandro and Francesca, had moved out of town many years ago, and their visits, once frequent, had become rare until they stopped altogether. Sitting in her old armchair with a cup of tea in her hand, Clara looked wistfully at her family photo. The smiles of Alessandro and Francesca, along with Clara's late husband, seemed to belong to another era. "Where have you gone?" she muttered to herself. But one day the phone rang, breaking the silence. Clara answered, hoping it was one of her children. "Mom, it's Alessandro," a voice said on the other end. The relief in Clara's voice was evident. "Oh, Alessandro, it's been a long time since I heard from you. I missed you," she replied in a tired voice. Alessandro continued, saying that he and Francesca wanted to spend more time with her and were planning a visit. Clara, full of hope, could not know that that phone call would be the beginning of events that would change her life. One evening, the headlights of a car illuminated the entrance to Clara's house. Alessandro and Francesca, with worried expressions, got out of the vehicle and headed for the door. "Do you think I believe it?" Francesca whispered to Alessandro before knocking. They were greeted by Clara's radiant smile. "Alessandro, Francesca," she exclaimed, hugging them warmly. "Come in, I've prepared dinner." During dinner, his children filled the house with laughter and stories of their life in the city, but omitted their critical financial situation. In the days that followed, the visits became frequent, fueling Clara's hope of having her children back at her side. "Mom," Alessandro said one evening, "we thought you might sell this house and come live with us in Rome." Clara, surprised and moved by the proposal, did not take long to accept, hoping to realize her dream of living with her children again. The house was put on the market and quickly sold. With tears on her face, Clara said goodbye to her home, unaware of Alessandro and Francesca's true intentions. When they arrived in Rome, Clara was speechless. She couldn't believe that her children had planned something like this. There, Clara did not find a welcoming apartment, but the sign said, "Retirement Home." "There must be a mistake," Clara said, confused. If you like this story, it would be nice if you left a like on the video and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. "Mom," said Alessandro, "we can't keep you in our apartment. With the money from the sale of the house, we have ensured you a safe and comfortable stay," he explained. Clara, heartbroken, found herself alone and abandoned in a strange place. In her new surroundings, Clara tried to adapt, but after a few days, she noticed an old house for sale across the street. She wanted to use her hidden savings to buy it, and when she shared the news with her children, they laughed at her. But Clara was determined. "I'm stronger than you think," she said firmly. He bought the house and quickly got to know his neighbors. And with the help of the family who lived next door, he transformed the old house into a cozy home. Anna and Marco, the neighbors, began painting the walls, planted flowers, and brought the house back to life. The next few months were a whirlwind of activity and sincere friendships. Clara found a new family in Anna, Marco, and their adorable twins, Lucia and Matteo. However, Clara's health began to decline. Despite this, she refused to give up, always finding joy in the little things and in the time spent with her new family. One day, while exploring the basement, Clara found an old locked trunk. Her curiosity was piqued. When she managed to open it, she was shocked to see an impressive collection of jewelry and gold. She decided to keep the discovery secret, sharing it only with her lawyer, who advised her to keep the valuables safe until she decided what to do with them. As time passed, Clara began to plan her will. She called her lawyer and made decisions that would upend the lives of everyone around her. Her health continued to deteriorate, but Clara always kept her smile, encouraging Lucia and Matteo with her stories. When Alessandro and Francesca went to visit her, they noticed their mother's fragility and suggested taking her to the hospital. "No, my dears," Clara replied. "This is my home, and this is where I want to spend my last days." That would be the last time she saw her children. Clara breathed her last breath with Anna at her side. The loss was felt by everyone in the neighborhood. The kind lady who had brought so much warmth into their lives was gone. After the funeral, Clara's lawyer, Giovanni Rossi, handed out sealed envelopes to those present. The reading of the will would take place the following week. When the moment finally arrived, the tension was palpable. Giovanni began to read the document. "To Anna and Marco, I leave my residence and all my personal effects." The room erupted in whispers of surprise. "As for my fortune in jewels, gold, and diamonds, half will be donated to the retirement home and the other half to Lucia and Matteo, Anna and Marco's children." Alessandro and Francesca were shocked, while Anna and Marco were overwhelmed with emotion. "I wish you to find the happiness you seek," concluded Clara's letter to her biological children. "True joy comes from the people we love and how we treat others." Alessandro and Francesca, furious, left the room, while Anna and Marco tried to understand the extent of Clara's generosity. Clara's story served as a lesson to all. True wealth comes not from material possessions, but from love and kindness. His memory lives on in the hearts of those he touched with his generosity. And you, what would you have done in Mrs. Clara's place if you found out you were abandoned in a nursing home?